Okay. Alrighty. Yes, we're finally on here. And if you notice from my title about the Oracle tonight, it's really kind of burn, baby, burn. We're going to talk about, or I guess I am speaking about, how the energy of the convergence of now has now burst into flames. We've gathered all the pieces of things together from the past and from the future and from the linear aspect. They're in a pile. And it's been your job, I'm sure you've all noticed in the last few months, last few days, last few hours, that your life is now totally in front of you. And if it looks like something that is very bad, good, overwhelming, yet joyful and positive, it's all these things. As we're healing the illusion of duality, you're going to find that things just are. The more you can just open and receive and say, okay, you know what, I must stop the judgment of what's bad or good, right or wrong. It's just the way the energies are, but they're not separate from you. So the one big thing I can tell you right now is that we will do a really strong, we'll call it a puja. We're going to call it a real, like when the Buddhist monks come and do a puja, because it's really what's going on in the earth plane right now is a puja. This is not just a ceremony that we're going to have. The earth plane is going through a puja. It's going through a cleansing. So sometimes what happens, even if your lower mind says, well, I don't know that I want to do a puja. I don't know if I really want to burn up the karmic pieces that are now in front of me. Maybe I still want to try to grab hold of something, and I'm sure you've all noticed this. You may be trying to still grab hold of something and your fingers are getting burned if it's something you're supposed to let go of. Or I'm just saying, be very aware of where you put energy right now, because the alchemical transmutation process that we are all in, it's not sparing anybody. And when I say sparing, I don't mean that in a bad way. What I mean is it's just what is occurring on the earth plane right now is a giant cleansing. And you can choose how you deal with your cleansing. But the important thing to know is that that is what's happening. And it's not just the normal cleansing cycles. Remember, we're no longer in a cycle. So things are not happening in a cyclical kind of way. They are just here to be experienced. So the more you can separate yourself in the sense, and this is a paradox, because as we're healing the oneness and the wholeness, guys, as we're healing the oneness and the wholeness, healing the illusion of the separation, what you want to do right now is the more you are aware of something that is not right, that is toxic, you want to pull back. You don't want to be part of it. If it still is like gum on your shoe, then you want to move into the energy and scrape it off, let's say, or let it burn off. You want to be very aware of what is happening in your own life, because you're going to see so many things mirrored in the outer world back to you. You're going to see a really, I know, Patchy, oh my God. And the animals, we're going to talk tonight about the animals too, how the animal kingdom is going through a lot of suffering. I've had so many emergency animal phone calls in the last week and over the weekend of people's animals either dying or being unusual illnesses or stress things going on. And my Malamute is in the background singing and talking and howling, but he's distressed. So he's like a standing guard back there, but he's I may have to ask somebody to go and see if we can lure him. I don't know what we're going to do with him. I think what we need to do, because what he's doing, and again, this is a lesson for all. This is why I like live things, because they're not canned and they're in the moment, and we can learn lessons from what's happening. When Adobe, the red-haired husky, died, My male Malamute has become very agitated with the male Husky. She was the buffer, and she was the girl that she was the queen. And male Malamutes don't do well with other male dogs. So now he's gotten into this real passive aggressive thing. And about 8 or 9 days ago, he ate half of a gourd that I had bought at Serpent Mound that had Serpent Mound on it. And he got deathly ill and almost died. And he went through a big transformation, got to go to Pet Pals, where he loves to be with Rick Arnold, Dr. Rick. And but ever since he's come back, he's very animated, but he's talking a lot. And to me, though, this sounds okay. All right, big boy, I hear you. And we're going to do a whole thing sometime on animal communication, because people say, how do you know what they're saying to you? And it's very simple. You just have to tune into what they're feeling and what they're communicating. But this is, I think what's going on here is a really interesting thing. Okay. Yeah, try to redirect him with, because he's got, I think he has Sky trapped right here.
So you want me to try to get him outside?
Yeah, or try to get him where he's not, where he's in that other part, like the connector.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe you might have to shut this one door. If Sky wants to stay where he is, but try to get, yeah.
Sky's okay where he is?
Yeah, don't, because they probably need to be separate. They probably need to be separated. Wow, interesting. Yeah, it's like, again, I'm not going to turn a blind ear or a deaf ear to, well, maybe I see with my ears sometimes. I used to always say when I do healing on people that I feel like my hands have ears and eyes in them. And so that they send messages. So maybe that was an interesting thing to say. So in other words, like this, if something's going on and you think you want your life to be perfect and nothing is perfect, so it's just like this, instead of me going, okay, I'm just going to ignore the dogs, you have to stop and deal with your stuff. So it's a really good example of coping and dealing with things in the moment. But again, the idea, what is transmutation? What is an alchemical process? In the ancient times, we heard all the stories of the alchemists transmuting lead into gold, making the elixir of life, making all these things on many levels are very real. We are in a process on the earth right now of being refined. It's like we're in the fiery furnace, but we're not going to die. And so you have to surrender to the fiery furnace and know that you're not going to get burned up. What's going to get burned up and what's getting burned up is the things that are not real, the things that are not right. It's like burning off what they call the dross. And so then, and I know all you're thinking, well, yeah, the last 2 or 3 years have been like this. So what now? Why are there more layers? It's like peeling away layers of an onion. So what's going on at this moment is a new level of refinement. And so do you want to, I guess this is an interesting way to look at it. Do you want your diamond body? We have the same structure as a diamond. And so in Tibetan Buddhism, we call it the diamond body. Our crystalline structure is very much like the diamond. And that's why when your loved ones pass away, you can actually have bling made out of them, which I'm not laughing, but people do. People come all the time, and it's an interesting concept. But it's just an example of that we, dust to dust, ashes to ashes, but we are of this real crystalline diamond energy. So it's just like, do you want to stop midstream of a refinement and of a clearing of your diamond body and have like big black carbon spots? Do you want to be an A grading or do you want to be a Z? If you know anything about diamonds, do you want to be where do you want to be with your process? And again, it's not about perfection. It's really about restoration, transformation, the more you're filled with light, the more you return and are restored to your original divine blueprint, the more transparent you are, the more awakened you are, the more alive and integrated with all the bodies you are, you're going to have that much more joy and happiness and peace. Now, this is the paradox, but it's the lesson of this level. In the process of burning off the dross, in the process of refining yourself, the only thing that's going to hurt right now is if you try to resist or if you try to stop what's going on. Because like I said, there's not a choice right now. The whole earth is in this puja, it's in this cleansing state. So the more you within your own being will surrender and let go and be willing on whatever level to let go of things that are not right. And I mean, I'm not talking about blind faith. I'm not talking about euphanoid. I talk about this all the time, the opposite of paranoid, and the made-up word I have is euphanoid. You don't want to be la la la, everything's beautiful, wonderful, because obviously all the things we're going through right now aren't totally beautiful or wonderful. They're just intense. So in this refining, you can, and some people are just cubic zircon, what are those fake diamonds called? Cubic zircon. Some people are just, and there are people on this planet that don't have an aura, and there are beings that walk around that don't, and they don't have that structure, and that they're kind of, that's just what that is. But anyway, you want to keep, and it's not about being better or doing it right or all the things that the lower brain will tell you. If I'm just, next week I'll be more perfect, or if I just lose this weight, or if I just, all the rules that we put in our head. What I'm talking about right now with this transmutation, it's a natural thing that's occurring. And if you allow yourself to be in a state of being, you're going to be in the middle of the flame. We're going to talk about the violet flame tonight. So instead of we're going to talk about the flames of transmutation, but we're going to go into that alchemical violet flame. And it's a different level of transmutation. So all you need to do is be centered, be open, and as the ego, and I'm sure you've all noticed, different levels of ego are being killed. So you may find that people are saying really bizarre things to you, or negative things to you, or what you think is negative, or being critical, or old personas that you had built up, or masks that you had on. They're going to be going away. And that's a scary process at first, because we've been taught to put on a mask. We've been taught to going to work, I'm at home, I'm going to see this person. And it's not that everybody brings out something different in us. All you need to be all the time is be who you are. I think it's the most common theme I'm seeing for everybody right now is, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to stop it. I don't know. And so I go, what are you trying to stop? Do you all feel this? Like, how do I stop this? How do I stop whatever this all is? How do I stop it? That's the illusion, is that you've got to control. When we're in fear, we want to control, and we want it to stop. And so we try to, whatever stop means, stop it. And the answer is, there's nothing to stop. What you really want to stop is the pain and the fear. How do we heal and have an ending to pain and fear? By breathing into it, by not identifying it as something to stop. Because when you feel any type of discomfort, it's your sign to go deeper down into it. We've been talking in past weeks about follow the money, and my whole thing right now is instead of follow the emotion. Follow what is piercing your heart, what is activating you. Have you all been mad the last few days? A lot of anger, a lot of anger, a lot of anger. Anger, yes, good, yeah. Somebody's saying here came out. Oh yeah, so one of you guys didn't feel the centerpiece like blow up on Friday. Yeah, the centerpiece was in flames. I was like, whew. And again, when you're in the moment of feeling whatever you're feeling, you need to express it. Now, this is where I'm not talking about the kind of anger that's about hurting somebody else, destroying other people's things. So I want to qualify this. So I'm saying burn, baby, burn. Don't get and start a riot here, but in your own being, it's time to burn up, let those feelings out. Don't let them, if you let them stay in you, it turns into dis-ease. It turns into cancers. It turns into heart disease. It turns into dis-ease, period. So if you find yourself feeling extremely happy, sad, anguished, and there's different kinds of mad and anger, I think, that are going on right now. I think that because we're moving through allowing ourselves to stay in a victim, it's not the victim anger. I think that there's been a huge healing in the last few months of getting out of that concept that, oh, I'm being singled out and victimized, and we all have to go through that because there are times that things are personal, but a lot of the times the things that we've all been experiencing, we're all experiencing them, and they're not as personal as it feels. Very personal. So you want to follow and take, when you're taking something personally that somebody's doing, you want, the worst thing you can do is just bitch about it or ignore it or let it fester. You want to feel where in your body, where in your being, where in your energy field that you are experiencing that. When you allow that energy to go through, for example, I've been doing a lot of work with people in the last couple of days that have just been feeling so sad and anguished and abandoned, and they think it's just about right this moment, and I go, no, let's go, when did you feel, okay, let's go back. And all of a sudden I'm having grown people going, well, when I was 8 years old, I was waiting for somebody to pick me up, and I thought they were coming, and they didn't. So that's an example. You're going to find that a lot of very intense waves of emotions that you're experiencing are deep, deep old wounds, old patterns, not even just from birth. It could be in utero. They could be when you were in different dimensional states. It could be from past lives. It can be from many sundry places. But they're not being experienced that way anymore as in linear. They're just here. So the deep, deep joys, the deep, deep pains, the deep, deep anything that you're having these intense feelings about are about these layers of experiences. And what Spirit is doing, and it's hard for us to understand this sometimes, and I think one of the biggest, I talked to a friend of mine who does spiritual work as well, and she had a really intense experience a couple of weeks ago, and she's one of the most evolved people I know. She's just the neatest person, and she had an experience where she was at her brother's house and or apartment or whatever, and they were talking, and his neighbor had a chair, and he was going to sit down, and he picked up a cushion, and he shook the cushion to flip it over, just out of habit, like fluffing up a cushion. And what she saw and experienced, this didn't go to the two people, her brother and this other person that were there. She saw this huge black Darth Vader thing come at her, there was a swarm of the bad bees that bite, not the good honeybees that make honey, those nasty ones that the yellow jackets. Can you imagine this? Here's this, shaking the pillow, turning it over. Here's this amazing being of light. And all she sees, because she didn't get what they were yet, was she saw it literally. I know what she saw. She saw it in its energy form. She saw, because to me, hornet, those kind of things are from the dark. They're dark. They attack, they bite, they have venom, they can kill you. And she saw this huge dark thing just make a beeline, not go near these other people, went right to her, and in her trying to understand what it even was, she fell. And so then they were even more on her. Yeah, there's a lot of this right now. So it was very interesting to me. The reason I'm sharing that story, and I know that she wouldn't mind me sharing it, is that there's a lot of lessons. I was getting my hair done today, and last night my hairdresser's husband stepped on a nest of something and did the same thing to him. They had to go to the emergency. There's a lot of those kind of energies gathered in one place, apparently, that are attacking. I had somebody in today also had this vast amounts of poison ivy. That I've never seen anything like it. I mean, like incredible poisonous, toxic energy. On her skin. The reason I'm sharing all these kind of stories is that we're in a time of the last hurrah of some negative forces, dark forces that are in one, but they're, again, like we're talking about, they're gathered in one place. It's not like this random little, and I've heard more and more of these stories that share about these just giant, like hidden, and I take it symbolically, metaphorically, be aware of these gathered together dark energies because they're there. And my hairdresser had a really good way to put it. She goes, you know what? At least it wasn't they have it at their house. It wasn't the 83-year-old neighbor. It wasn't, she's pregnant. It's like he took the hit because any one of them could have stepped in it, you know? And my other friend took it the same way. She said, you know what? I used it to feel how she'd been feeling lately, very attacked. Why isn't the things I've talked about before, about even Jesus on the cross, when he says, Father, why have even you forsaken me? And in the moment that he felt, and felt, he took it to the most personal level, and he felt abandoned by God. And then he realized that wasn't right. He said, Father, forgive them, they don't know what they do. That's what she did with this overwhelming pain and venom in her body. She went there and it's like, I'm so mad. Why? I do your work. I do good work. I do spiritual work. Why? Why is this happening? And the minute she went into that energy of that, she was free from it. And we've been so taught with religion that you can't even have a bad thought. Ooh, you shouldn't even be thinking that you might be mad at God because you'll be struck down or you'll be, whatever. I'm sharing these stories because you need to pay attention to what you are feeling and own it. And know that God's not going to strike you dead. You're not going to be, if you're feeling something and you're feeling angry, and I've gone through that gamut again in the last week with very intense things that have happened to me. When your mortgage broker says, does somebody have a voodoo doll of you? That's when you know. It's like, really? Well, probably. They do fine. They could. Interesting thought. It's not normal for people in that world, but yeah. So my point is, whatever it is taking right now, or no matter how severe something is, rise up, feel the victimization, move out of the victimization, and then get really angry. And that's what happened to her. So once she went through all that, and then she just got really mad. And she goes, you know what? I'm done with this. Yeah, I'm not mad at God. I'm not mad at, I'm not going to blame. I know things, I get what I've done wrong. I see my path. I see what I need to change. But no, I'm going to let all my anger out. And that's what you want to do. You want to do your own, I advise everybody, do your own anger therapy. So if you feel these raging things, again, don't hurt other people or break their things. You might be tempted sometimes, but don't do that. But know that there is no emotion that we have as humans that is not normal. How do things become aberrant? When they're denied. When sexuality is denied, it becomes, that's why we have molestation and pedophiles and we have creepy things. When, organized religions say this is wrong and that's wrong, all these kind of things. When we repress or deny a natural thing that we have within our own being, it can become aberrant. So it's the same thing with anger. We've all been taught since we were little children, especially women, girls don't get angry. Girls just aren't supposed to express that. If you do, then you're really looked frowned upon. Or then as you get older, you're called the B word. And it's just a really bizarre kind of thing. So there's no emotion that, and I think that's one of the reasons with all the changes they made in the Bible and writing out the 11 books that they wrote out of the Bible, that they left the story of Jesus taking up the whip and changing the money changers out of the temple. And what they say in the Gnostic Gospels and what they say in the other books that before the Nicene Council got rid of them, it was not, was Jesus angry at the money changers? No, he was angry that the animals were being sold to be sacrificed in that temple. He came to put an end to the idea of bloodletting, the idea of sacrificial killing, ritualistic killing of animals. And that is an ancient thing that has nothing to do with the true bloodline. Sangreal has nothing to do with the divine bloodlines. It is a very dark, vampiristic, draconian energy. And it's worked its way into a seductive level of people love vampire movies. People love, when I was a kid or high school, we watched Dark Shadows. It was kind of innocuous. I really wasn't so thrilled he was a vampire, but kind of like the castle and the cool stuff and the Barnabas, yeah. It was interesting. But you know what I'm talking about now? There's just this real obsession with somehow that being a good thing. These are, again, and again, it's memory. Some of it's soul memory because it's been ingrained for a long time, this idea of sacrifice and death and bloodletting. And the earth abounds in psychic vampires. You all know them. They work next to you. You might live with some. The people you get around them, instead of them making you feel good, you feel like this. You feel like you're going to feel more and more and more as your own energy field is clearing. The sensitivity is going to become so strong. If you've never been sound sensitive, you probably are now. You're going to find that maybe you don't like the music up as loud as you did. Or I've had people coming in, and these are people that they're people that don't normally go into these realms. People coming in for readings and going, do you think, I had a woman in yesterday, do you think that I was watching television and I heard words. I couldn't quite get them, but I think it's like subliminal messages. Ooh, very good. Yeah. So you want to pay attention to if something is bothering you. And I said, well, what did you do? Because I turned off all the TVs in my house and I don't want them on now. I said, good for you. And so when I'm saying these things to you, what I'm talking about here is we're all on our last nerve, but it's not a bad thing. So when you're feeling this raw nerve about almost everything, and you might be saying to yourself, I'm just hypersensitive now, or maybe I'm crazy, or why is everything bothering you? It's not that everything is bothering you. What's bothering you are the things that are not right. So what you used to use as a mechanism to block and deny and keep yourself in situations that you knew were not right. They're not working. So you're overwhelmed. And I love the rain. Oh, yes, good. The cleansing, purging rain is here. This is awesome. We needed this. Just, I love it when it rains. So the other thing I'm feeling and hearing in my work with people, they're going, you know, I can't. Everybody's going, I can't explain it. Well, it's because it's not. You don't want to be in your scientific mind. I mean, there's a place for your scientific mind to. You want to have a healthy skepticism. I totally believe in healthy skepticism. I believe in the higher mind, not the lower mind that's fear-based. So when you go into critical thinking, you want to be in that higher mind, not the reptilian brain that's going, oh, this is bad or this is good. Not that. There is a level of let's call it a filter, where you want to filter what you're feeling, and you can still have your heart open, be connected in all ways, let the flames be burning up the stuff that needs to burn up, but still have this mind that's going, is this real, is this not real, what is all of this? Because you don't want to be mind controlled. I don't think no, I don't think you do. You don't want people telling you what to do, what to think, what to feel. And so many people have been for so long in codependent relationships, or you've turned your power over in whatever way to other people, other things. You're going to find you're very angry and no longer, you may be turning on the job or the boss or the husband or the wife or the whatever that you once at one time were pretty comfortable with letting control you, or be in it's really tricky when you start to look at, it's like sadomasochism. They say that the person that is a masochist is really the person that's in control. Nothing's ever like what it looks like in that other level, or like love and hate, or any of these intense dualities. So you really want to be aware of reactions you're having with the people and situations around you, because things that maybe even a month ago or 2 months ago or 2 days ago you just let slide by, or as your things are burning off, what connected you in a toxic codependent way, or continuing in a negative umbilical cord with somebody, it's, instead of feeling comfortable, familiar, okay, you may start to feel really sick from it, or you may start to feel reviled, or even just feel nothing and choose to walk away. There's a disconnect. So a lot of people are worried about that. They're coming and going, you know what, am I bad? But I don't, people are calling me to do things, and I don't really want to go out with these people anymore, or I don't want to do things, and nothing's happened. I didn't have a fight with them. I just am not interested in what their drama, or my drama, or the drama we had together. Because it's usually that way. When we all have drama. That's just how we've learned to experience things here. And we learn through drama, and drama has its place, and we all go through these different levels of experiencing drama. But you don't want to live in drama. It will wear you out. And we all know that. Drama has its place, it has its purpose. We do things, and you're gonna find that certain types of the ways you used to process, they're not happening. So instead of like drawn out drama that involves lots of other people, you're going to find that in a moment you might be going, you'll have your own personal drama for a minute, and that's what I'm talking about, this intense feelings. You might find yourself yelling, screaming, ranting, raving, or I'm, also feel very joyful and putting music on and dancing, feeling very good. It's spontaneous. It's not saved up like, then I'm going to get with these people and I'm going to have a bitch fest, or I'm going to blah, blah, blah. You are your Lord and Master of your creation, and you are in that moment. And as these things are coming to you, and as they're being healed and being burned up, let it go. Because I will guarantee you, the more you are in your feeling body consciously, you will experience a great amount of healing. The more you keep finding ways to not crash and burn, to not feel, to not deal with certain things, you will be suffering because it's not going to go away. That's when you're going to feel that you're on fire in a bad way. That's when you're going to kind of feel like, okay, yeah, this is getting real hot in here. And if you're resisting and you're wiggling away from stuff, just don't do it. And it will come in the most surprising ways. Mine have been, some of the lessons I've had in the last 2-3 days have been, and I work on myself constantly. And I've always worked through things, done things. Some of the stuff has come in the most surprising ways that lessons could ever come. And so again, you may find major aha moments or major, totally different than you would ever have guessed, that you would start to understand and have big breakthroughs in your life. So again, I would advise everybody, be present, be open, know that what is happening is real. Know that what you're hearing, seeing, the fear, the negativity, the things you're hearing in the news are purposeful to keep you in fear. So you don't want to stay trapped in a fear-based place. You want to feel whatever the oppressive energy is. You want to go with it, and then you want to just let it burn up. Let it move. Let it go away. Does anybody have a question before we do a meditation? Is there anything you want to share?
Let's go talking to the cubic zirconia people.
The cubics. What happens to the cubic zirconia?
Now let's work on the cubic zirconia people.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Because it seems to me, just from what I'm observing in my life, they're just getting worse and worse, and I'm walking around as if life is just one big happy gay affair. I don't see, and that's the part.
I know what it is. Could somebody go and turn the light? The light in the big room's not on. It's on this wall. Sorry, I knew it. I was like, it's really.
You're talking about feeling anger, where I feel anger. I'm like, I'm feeling like
Oh yeah.
dude day, and they're just off having
Good old time.
Like it's
Yep.
just fun, and nothing's bothering them, and they're happy, and it's like they're made of Teflon. Nothing's touching them. Nothing's bothering them. And I keep seeing that.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's just in my life, but I'm seeing that more and more
Oh
in
yeah.
my life.
Oh.
My cubic zirconia people or my Darth Vaders. It's like, are you kidding me? Can things get any better? It's
No,
like,
trust me. I've had everything that would ever push my button in my life down to. Well, I'll give you a really good. No, I've had the same thing. I have days and weeks of it with people who come in for readings. The very thing that I'm trying to not judge or try to be done with, it's in my face. It's like, yeah, I know. Oh yeah, I'll give you a prime example. Like I said, I've been trying to refinance my house for 7 months now. Really for 3 years, but now 7 months. And in the last few days, there's someone I know who, I'm not going to go there. They called me up. Somebody used to do some work for me here. Very responsible, never done things right in their life. Just saying, I've tried to help this person. You're not going to believe this. I got to bring this by so you see if this is really real. The bank is forgiving my mortgage. It's like a really low mortgage of $32,000. I'm going, great. Yeah, I'm going, yes, you deserve that. Okay, and I just let it just go. Okay. Just come right through me.
So it's okay.
No, and then you got to get angry. And when I got angry, then I let go of the judgment. I thought, well, no, that's just what that all is. And then another thing is, 3 or 4 years ago when I tried with Chase to get them to lower I was actually told by somebody, well, just don't pay your house payment for 3 or 4 months. Then they'll give you the remodify. And I'm going, I'm not going to do that. You crazy? So I would never do that. Never did that. So somebody I know that lives in another state didn't pay their mortgage. Same thing. Tried to work out something. Didn't pay their mortgage for a year. So not only did they get then a remodification, and this person, and I only know this because I know this person, but I know there was ill-gotten gains to how they ever got their money to begin with, if they even, okay, yeah. Not only did they, now this is what I've really been trying to research on this one, this has really threw me. And this came again on one of the days I was supposed to have a closing, and they found, oh, you, in 2006, what do you call that when you, disputed. Did you know if you dispute, but you even win, and that they were wrong, it's a ding against your credit? Oh, yeah, it's wonderful. So it was on one of those days. Not only did this person get a total remodification, they forgave their second mortgage.
So what's going on?
Because the government pays that. Now that's what's interesting. I mean, it's not like, yeah. No, and so trust me, I've had, and I work on these things not to be this way, not to think, I really do. But no, I've had stuff in my face that has been so amazingly clear of all my patterns in the last little bit. So this is the deal. Yes, that's what it looked. What all the things where in the outer world it looks like the dark forces are having their last. I think they're having their last hurrah, basically. Let it push your buttons. Let it move your stuff. But again, we can't. The things I do know on the backside of both of these people's lives, their lives suck. Big deal that they got this paid off. They don't have good lives.
Yeah.
They don't, and I'm not happy about that. But they don't have good lives. They just have a circumstance that's right. So it's easy, especially I think when people go through breakups it's the most common thing I hear when people are going divorced or separated or they better break up. People think, oh, and now they're already off with somebody else, or they're living. You don't know because it's not always like that. That's one of the lower mind will always make us think we're suffering, we're having this horrible time, and the other person is scot-free and whatever, off in their new life. And if you could be a little birdie in the window, it's not that great. And so that's the answer, is that the things that appear to be, I can't even tell you how many, and I always have, I read, this is what I love about my work, and it's always been this way for 43 years. I read for people that clean the streets, that are every walk of life you could think of, from street people to, you just name it, the presence of the clergy, wide range of people. I love that about the people I attract. And it's everybody that I know is going through these sufferings. And so even the people that I know, and I know a number of people that are quite wealthier that are what I would call trust fund people, they're not happy. Money doesn't make you, just because it creates other issues for people. People can have things too easy. And they get into a point in their life where they've not developed other things. So it's easy for us to kind of look at other people and think that this is happening and they're getting by with things. I don't think they really are. I think there's a lot, yes, on the surface it will look, but you go deeper and it's probably not that way. So again, how do dark forces keep us from really dealing with our own stuff? Getting us sidetracked. Getting us trapped in the lower ego to think, oh, why are they having such a good life and I'm not? And these things we get off in our imagination. So everybody's jobs right now is to be who you are. You're supposed to be happy, joyful, and the things that are in your way to keep you from being this joyful, happy being that has free will, that has amazing gifts that want to manifest, that are manifesting, you're not here to be somebody else or to think about other people's lives right now. It's very important to be in your life and to really focus. And when you get those reactive things with other people, again, it's happening for a reason. But what you want to do with that energy is to really pay attention and talk to people on a higher level. Because I know I can discern if what I'm picking up is coming from people or toward people. So you want to learn your own discernment. When you start to feel that attachment with that person, you want to go deep in yourself and go, wait a minute, am I getting activated or crazy from this because it's this person sending thought forms to me? Because that's very often the case. Because when you're speaking about it, that's what I feel. I feel like this person's very, I can see it.
Yes,
I feel it.
Then what do I do? What do we do if we were ever to have this experience? It's been hot and heavy lately. It's just been like, my God.
Now, I've had a couple of people that I felt sending me very direct negative energies.
This person is working on me.
Right. So what you want to do, again, when has this happened before? Don't just stay present. Go deep into your psyche. When did I have these experiences before? Who else made me feel like this?
Okay.
And you can talk to them on a higher level to let it go.
Even if they have a dark energy, you can talk to them.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because I'm imagining I'm trying to talk to Darth Vader. He's going to say, well, I don't care what you think. I'm going to do what I want to, I'm so
No,
I don't care. Well,
no, there's a real person in that case behind that Darth Vader.
I know, but I'm thinking Darth Vader doesn't care what I say to him.
Well, you know what? Even what they say is, even at the end of the day, all the fallen angels, all of creation was created, will come into a place of healing and forgiveness. So even the most vile, dark things will be filled with light at some point and be healed. So what you want to do is, and again, when we polarize, because I think, again, we never have the right, and I will say this over and over and over again, and it annoys most people, but I do not believe that you have the right to even pray for somebody unless you have their permission. I don't mean going up to their face and saying, may I pray for you? I'm talking on a higher level. When you pray, when you meditate, and you really want to pay attention to your motive and intention in your prayers and your meditation, what is your motive? Okay, because so many people are kept alive way longer because somebody's selfish. They don't want their animal to die. They want their mother to die. So no, it's not fair. It's not fair. Or, we get 5 phone calls a day. Do you do love spells? Love spells, girl. Can you make somebody?
Love spell. Like a love potion.
Love potion number 9. Oh yeah, and there are people there's people here in town that do that. For a minute. I'll tell you one of my best stories. This was young in my work. I was in my 20s, and this woman came to me. This is when I lived by the Children's Museum at the Drake apartments, beautiful apartments next to North Meridian. And I was very naive, and I was like, and this one, she goes, you have to help me. I went to this gypsy woman, and I'm going, ooh, gypsy woman, okay, what? And this is a really interesting story, because it was early on in my work. I learned about a bunch of stuff very fast. Okay, yeah, there are people that can do voodoo, that can do spells, that can conjure, that can do things. Most people that dwell in that realm are fear-based, and I guarantee you, it's a pound of flesh for a pound of flesh. You will always pay, and they pay very dearly at the end of their life, during their lives. At the end of life, we don't have a right to manipulate or control other people. So this woman, here I was like 20, I don't know, 5 years old, 20. I was like, and she's telling me this wild story. She goes, well, I went to this person because I was in love with this guy at work, but I didn't want to leave my husband with nobody. So I thought you love the fellow was thinking. I'm like, I'm 25 going, whoa, wait a minute. Some really twisted thinking. So I went to this woman to find somebody, make this woman fall in love, or have my husband find somebody, so then I wouldn't feel guilty because I was, going to be with this other person who I was also, this one was lighting candles and doing chanting to make. So it was this whole convoluted story about this is what happened. So for about a year, she was in this process, and this woman, $8,000 later. Yeah, all these people, they start with really reasonable rates, and they're very psychic, and they can tell you have a blue car, or they'll tell you enough. You go, whoa, this is really interesting. Then they go, you have a dark cloud around you. You have a curse. But we can take it off. And the old days, it was candles, and it was like the egg ceremony, or these kind of things. The most recent ones are, we can buy you big crystals. We'll buy these expensive crystals and it changes form, but it's the same. It's the same story. So you go from $50 to $5,000 real quick, right? And so anyway, this is what happened, and it's a classic example. And I know it came as a story into my life, so I could really understand and share it with people that go through these things. This is what happened. She goes, I don't know what went wrong. Sure enough, her husband met somebody. They're having they broke up. He was with somebody. The person she was so madly in love with and wanted to be in love with her is now a psychopathic stalker of her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, you got that one, didn't you?
Get rid of the psychopathic stalker.
You got it.
Careful what you wish for.
Oh yeah, and that seems to be my job in life. Is I didn't make the $8,000, but I got rid of the psychopathic stuff. Cleaned up the mess. Yeah, and it was interesting because and in her even telling the story to me and me reflecting back things, she got what she had created, and in the moment and I worked with her through a couple of sessions, and when she took responsibility instead of blaming, the guy stopped stalking her. So it's like they say, be careful of what you wish for, be careful of what you pray for, because you might manifest it. It's very, very real. So in situations we get so invested in relationships, and again, not to get too personal, but I'm going to say it because everybody needs to hear this because it's real. When you engage in sexual intercourse with another human being, you become them, they become you, you take on their karma, they take on your karma. Now, if that doesn't give some people pause for thought, that could be a really good contraceptive. That could just take those beer goggles off in a minute and think, wait a minute. Yeah, it's very heavy, and it's what they teach you in Tantra because it's very real. The true path to Tantra is not just, Tantra means union. Literally, because that's the whole, when there's that union, when people have that union, when you have that union, there's a transmutation. Why do you think people yearn for that union? It's not just about orgasm. It's not just about, it's that becoming one. And I've seen the most and you've all had these experiences, and that's what's interesting, is there people that really aren't with it, but in that state of ecstasy, because it's an ecstatic state. Well, you want more of that. And it can become very addictive, especially when you're experiencing that with someone. And then, but if the other dark parts of them come out, and that's why a lot of people get into like withholding sex or manipulating with sexuality, and then you all pay attention to this. I know if you look back in your lives, nobody here's a baby. We're not, well, there might, I don't know. I don't judge virgins or non-virgins, but I did get somebody in recently that was like a 6-year-old virgin. I was like, wow, that's interesting. But it was a very sad story. I mean, it was like, whoa, it wasn't necessarily a good story why this person was a virgin. But you can all look back and know that certain times you can be joined with somebody that way, and it's the most incredible feeling, or sometimes you have felt actually sick, or where you have felt drained, or you have felt like, ugh. Yeah. It's because of what is, I love all this rain, it's great, just come on down, cleanse us. So it's a very real thing. So what, in your case, this is what I'm feeling, that's why I'm bringing this up. There was such a strong, and people get, when we meet people where there's this extreme good things and positive things, but then there's this other thing. Sometimes it can be boring. We're not attracted to other people because we're used to all this extreme stuff, right? And that can be what hooks us. So one thing, again, I would do is really work on just cleansing your whole being, just seeing anywhere that you're holding on to any energy that is really that person's energy. It's not your karma. It's not your thoughts, not your being. But you ask permission, you say, in accordance with my free will and highest good and his free will and highest good, I want to talk to you. And anything you've ever wanted to say, and you don't judge if it's bad or good or anything like that. You just say it, you feel it, you can scream, you can yell, you can whatever. And work through the anger, work through the confusion, the abuse, any of the things you're feeling from it. And then you see the person as a child, as a baby, and you find forgiveness for yourself and for that person. And let that flame have a transmutation of, you can see that anything good or positive that you experienced with that relationship or with that person, that can stay. We don't have to just kill off everything. But, anything that was pure, that was good, the good lessons, the good connection from wherever, time and space. But you want to then be willing to let go of any attachment, because attachment is what's really causing your suffering. See, attachment causes suffering. So you want to go into the level of, well, you've been getting wow, I just remember that story. Just not random, but out of the blue, you ran into your first husband that you hadn't seen in 20-some years.
It was a wild summer.
Yeah, she had a wild summer, and then she's had a husband. She's a young widow. She has had a husband in the past, and so you've had some very unusual, intense relationship stuff for a person of your age. I mean, you really have. Mm-hmm. And so that's
coming, ladies.
And that's another reason. But that's another reason when you connect it with this other person, that because he wasn't like the other people. And again, there are tons, for some reason, there's a plethora of narcissistic, borderline people running around out there. And they're showing there are. There's a preponderance of them. I really, it's kind of frightening, but yeah. And the people you knew before that weren't, so for you it wasn't like this pattern of like, this is familiar. So that's why it really threw you. And so that's one of the reasons you're so distraught.
Right.
Yeah. And that person is very sadistic as well. It's very like, reel you in and it's come here, go away. We've all been through these icky things. They are awful. And we don't want to be there. And you don't deserve to be there. And so when we do this meditation right now, you just do your inner work with it, but just let that flame burn up any attachment. And again, it's really interesting about attachment. And lots of people stay in relationships because of a certain type of attachment or familiarity or whatever. And boy, this is the stuff you want to do your inner work with, is to really make sure what you're processing is your stuff, because we're also going through that clearing of family DNA, family karma. not having to live in the realm of sins of the fathers that go through the 7 generations. You're coming to that place of you want to have, you want it, I am that I am. You are the most unique, wonderful, individuated soul, and that's what you want to have in that you're dealing with right now. It's not a time to rescue this person or any of that stuff. Rescue yourself. Rescue yourself, because it's that energy. Anybody else have anything before we do meditation?
I was going to say how much I enjoy your swarm analogy, because it seems that way to me, that there's a lot of this little kind of indiscriminate darkness.
Yes.
And for me, the past 2 weeks, is they've all just kind of not really getting anywhere individually.
But they
But
pull
as a
to get.
swarm, I mean, one beast
Exactly.
says, you know,
Right.
it's out.
Yep, yep.
But when you have like
Yep.
a whole swarm attacking you,
Yes.
that's kind of.
Oh, it's
where
wild.
really
No, I've had it.
It's like
my own
they
self.
just all pulled up together and thought, okay, we'll try this united.
It's true. No, I mean, it is. I've heard more and more, and in my own world, I've seen where I thought something was this or that, or was individual, where it turned out to be a group of people or a cabal of something. With yeah, exactly. No, and because they're having their last hurrah, and they will sting themselves to death. It's like the scorpion. It's like bees that they die when they'll just be gone, and it is, and it's one of the hardest lessons for people that try to do the good, not just try to live good lives and don't have those kind of traits of when you have those kind of forces, those mean forces, or those destructive, jealous forces, whatever they are, coming at you. It's like, why? Where is this coming from? Why? What? But again, that's how it works, to find the chink in your armor to let that energy in. That's why it's so important to clear, transmute, let all the stuff move, and then there won't be they won't come near you. And again, I really do think they're having their last hurrah. They're having their last hurrah. So, and people are crazy driving. Oh my God. People don't drive well here anyway. People are coming in going, oh my God, I almost got killed. This person was doing this road rage, or they were like pulled out. And if you notice the drive, I mean, it is because people, your car is your body, so people get in, and because everybody's activated right now, people are in their vehicles and they're activated. So drive very cautiously. I mean, you really, talking about driving defensively, you have to, because it's very real. I've seen some of those bizarre things happen with how people are driving. It's like, oh, how'd you even do that U-turn? Right in the middle of, I saw some just strange one today, and I was like, wow, that's pretty good. You're lucky you didn't get killed, but hey. Just I stopped on a dime, twirled around, and just went over a median. They had a big car, SUV, and I was like, wow, it's kind of impressive, that one. But yeah, so drive watch, and be very connected. What I do with my vehicle, I just become one with it. I drive psychically. I know it sounds scary. I don't have accidents. But I do drive psychically, and I drive fairly fast. But it's good to become one with your vehicle and put out that energy, and you'll be protected. Okay. Anybody else?
I was wondering, in all the stuff that I have going on, how do you differentiate between karma and dark forces? I know you say
Oh, interesting.
karma.
So wonderful.
How do you tell the difference?
The question is, how do you tell the difference between dark forces and karma? Very interesting subject, yes. Right, because when do you go, did I create this, and do I deserve this? And the place you want to get out of thinking is not about deserving or not deserving. That's where the attachment comes in. But right, and the more responsibility that you take, you'll have a discernment about karma. Because absolutely, and again, all karma is self meeting self. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, if you want to think about it in scientific terms. You plant corn, you get corn. You skip a rock on the water, it ripples. Everything that we feel, think, say, and do goes out into a rate of vibration. So, yes, there are situations that absolutely can be karmic, that absolutely are, you messed up, this is your lesson, but you don't want to stay in a place of, oh my God, I was so bad, I'm being punished, and just go, whoa. Because I've had some of those lately where I absolutely know exactly what I did wrong and why this exact thing was happening, and I owned it, and it's like, nope, yep, it's me, it's all on me. But I'm not going to beat myself up, but it's on me, and I just want to. The dark force piece can come in ways where you'll know that it really is a dark force, is when there's just this relentless energy that no matter what you're doing, you're just assailed. You're just that it's on you.
So which is the animals?
And the animals are taking on so much for people right now. So many lessons, so many things. You have very interesting thing going on with your animals. I mean, to the extreme, to the extreme, to the extreme. And I've had a thing with birds too. It's like I've had birds I've never seen come up and they're looking in the window and they're hanging out and they're birds are messengers, animals are messengers. Yeah, I picked up a whole bunch about the story you wrote to me about with your dog and the bunny and the.
Because now I'm the common denominator.
It happens when you're around.
It's me.
It's you.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's what you got to
Yeah.
pay attention to. Yeah.
I'm the only one who's been present for every single thing that's happened. Starting with the pigeon.
Yeah, so we may remember she's with her daughter and there's just a beautiful house and it's a beautiful window and looking back and all of a sudden you see the hawk.
Flew a pigeon into the back of our house, not into our house, but the outside of the house, and then
Killed it.
proceeded to kill it very slowly in front of us.
Yes. So a little child, I know, right? You go, oh, there's this beautiful hawk. Oh, no.
It was
It's
so confusing at first.
destroying this pigeon.
And then
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh, look, it's helping. Oh.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah. No, that was the first thing. No, yeah, those things are so. Then the next thing was
There was a trio that weekend was getting hit with a pine cone. I was hit with a pine cone.
Right.
Someone threw it at me. But the next animal thing, let's see.
what hit you with a pine cone? You mean just being outside? You got
Yeah, like someone
hurled it, yeah, really hard, but it was, yeah.
And the person who's standing with me, like, where did that
Come from,
Are
yeah,
you
this
okay?
assaulting, yeah, energy.
What was the next animal?
Was it the squirrel? Was
The
it?
squirrel was the next, yeah.
They went to this beautiful place that I know that people go to, and this should not have been there. And there was a dead squirrel in the fountain. Yeah, really strange. I mean, and then her dog chased a bunny, and it got hit into the street, and it got hit by. I mean, yeah. So exactly. Now, does that mean that you're bad and no? My gut feeling is you're getting warning that the animals are showing you something and they're taking something on. I just saw that. What's that? Be as wise as a hawk and
Yeah,
gentle as a
hawks
dove.
are
Yeah.
Hawks are very present for me right now.
Well, and
Around
they're
the house.
birds of prey, and they do good things, and they're very high in the Native American. They're very revered and different things like that. But yeah, in your case, you really want to pay attention because that's a lot. What you're seeing is actually sacrificial. There's something that is my gut feeling, because I always think of bunnies as, well, it was just ironic that you have a hunting kind of dog and it kind of went at, but you were holding the leash and then that happened for a reason. Your daughter wasn't with you then, though. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's showing you something. Don't sacrifice yourself. Don't let victimization come to you. Pay attention to any way that you're vulnerable in a way that it's not, because you're such a fair, good person. Sometimes we can go too far in being that way that we can, that's what I kind of got. I'll tell you more later. That's kind of what I got. I had an amazing story with a red-tailed hawk about 3 years ago. I never go out for lunch. I just sit here and work, and stay in the stream of consciousness. But a friend of mine said, no, you have to come for lunch. You have to. So I was driving on 86th Street almost to Keystone, and there's like a Lazy Boy Furniture's on one side, and there's a median. And I look, and against the median on my side, I was going east, I see this beautiful hawk, red-tailed hawk, but it was, I thought, dead. This is an interesting story. I thought, oh. Then I thought, ooh, it's dead. I'll be late for lunch if I stop now. Because my first thought was to go my energy, and I thought, well, I'll come back later and get the feathers, or I'll do a ceremony over it and raise the energy, because it was just there. It was just I was just shocked when I saw it. And it was really cold out. It was like a dead of winter. So I drove on to the lunch, and all of a sudden, and I ate very little. And I said to my friend, I said, you know what, I have to go. I said, I'm really disturbed about something I saw on the way here. I saw this hawk. So I drive back, and by this time somebody else had stopped, a man, and actually somebody had done a reading 4 years ago, and he pulled over, and he was the same thing. Is it dead? Is it what? We don't know. And he goes, I don't know. And so we lifted it up, we picked it up, and we put it on the median, and it was alive. Really big wings. They're big. They're much bigger than they look flying in the sky. And he had these big heavy gloves on, and I had my fake, this is hilarious. This is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so people were pulling over. What are these weird people doing? And I had a fake leopard coat on. So he's holding, we didn't know if we didn't know if it wasn't dead, but we didn't know if its wing was injured or if it was a little bit just unconscious. And they mate for life. And I had always seen like a couple of, and then it started to talk to me, and I really had a sense that its mate had died, and it was really sad. And so in this freezing winter, he held the red tail. He was just kind of, and so I started running energy on it. Okay, there's the thunder in my, yes, that's what it felt like too. It was like, whoa, connecting with the bird. And I looked back, and people said, my God, you were crazy. That bird could have come at you. No, that wasn't the part of it. But it was so neat. And somebody else stopped, and they called the wildlife people, and they showed up. But it was one of the neatest experiences, because it was like to be that close to a huge. They're much bigger, like I said, than they look like flying around up there, and to feel its heart and to feel its energy, And I kept track of it for a while, and I had like an injured wing, but they put it in the rehabilitation, and it was fine. So I've had really unique things like that. But that story, your story with that, because they're predators. I mean, it's what they kill predators. But whenever you have something that specific happen in front of you, it definitely means something. Oh yeah, it's and again, I would just keep working with asking, Spirit, what is the message? Why would I want to see this? Yeah, why am I choosing? And again, karmically, yes, sometimes we do karmically choose to see certain things. But I do feel in your case, it's about understanding or going above the idea that this is, or maybe even going above the pigeon as a victim and the bird of prey is a bad thing. It's something in nature. I mean, I would look at it at the different aspects. Yeah, I would look at it the different ways to view it. Yeah, because that when we get those freeze frames of just an aspect of something, it's easy to get really caught up in it and go, whoa. Yeah, but then you know that, there's all kinds of levels of those kind of things. Anybody else?
I moved out of my house into another house, and the first time I was there, I had a dream of this square gold sparkly coin. And there was something on it, but I don't know what it was.
And it was, she just moved out of a very long marriage, moved into a place, and the first night you have a dream of a square gold sparkly. That's your alchemical, that's your gold, that's your transmutation.
It was great.
And, and it was great. You were free.
Wonderful.
Free at last, free at last. And there's a lot of it. I don't think I have ever seen so much in a short period of time of people separating or getting together. There's the extreme. There's like this just real endings to things. And to me, well, and the square shape, which is interesting since it was a gold, it's like a new foundation. It's like the four corners of the earth. It's like a new life. And I like that it was gold and sparkly, and it's showing you like this is your new life. But it had something written.
No, it was like a form, like pressed into it.
Oh, it's pressed into like a
But I
form.
couldn't see what it was.
Wow, that's cool.
Very cool.
It's showing you your new. Did you have it in your hand, or you just saw
It
it?
was just right in front of my
It's
face.
floating. That's even better. You were in very high dimensional. Yeah, you were. It's the same thing. You took yourself out of toxicity and codependence that you had been in, and once you are free from that energy, look what an amazing dream you had. And that's what happened. It's proof in the pudding. I mean, it's just it is what happens when you. That's because you look different. Your whole energy field looks really good.
And one other time when I was here, I had these really mean, evil eyes, like right here. And then I got really sick to my stomach, and then it went away.
I mean, during a meditation or
Yeah.
something, you saw mean evil eyes and you got sick, and then it went away.
Really close.
Yeah, and again, those can be things that will come up in meditation like that or in dreams are at one level, everything's a part of herself. But it is interesting. And you got sick in what way? What happened?
My stomach, I was just thought I was going to throw up.
Yeah. And again, it could be coming face to face with evil or old energy and letting it transmute out. Anybody else?
So today has been like a freaking awesome day for me.
Good.
It
Good.
Just so happens, it just so happens though that it's my late mother's birthday.
Wow.
So it's almost like all of
She's
this-
giving you it's that
Yeah.
sad, it's that
It's kind
heavy
of a little
and-
bit sad because I miss her, but
yeah.
it's almost like she's giving me all the
She's
gifts
helping
she
you.
was,
To have a synchronistically wonderful thing happen on your mother's birthday, is how long has she been in spirit?
Since 2008.
For 5 years. See, my mother's birthday was Sunday, the 4th,
Oh, wow.
and she would have been 91, and she passed April 10th. So
Wow.
I had some heavy stuff this weekend with all that and with.
I just
Yeah.
didn't know if there was a connection or not.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Well, tell them the good thing that happened.
Oh, so
You-
we were in
you
the
wait-
paper this morning, our company was in the newspaper, and
They developed a ghost app.
then,
Which, like, just Tuesday, we thought, oh, well,
It's never gonna
it's
run.
never gonna run, and
It's
then,
never
we
gonna
thought, well, maybe it would be the weekend, but no, it was Tuesday.
and then USA Today picked it up.
USA Today, it's in the
So-
newspapers, big time. Their app, the ghost app.
So we went out on the AP, and then I got a call from a Louisville, Kentucky news station, and they want to interview us.
That's so awesome.
And
So
they
proud of
said,
you
"Oh,
guys.
can you come to Waverly Hills and
Which is
you know,
our
where's
favorite
your
haunted
favorite
place."
place?"
So there you go.
And
And I've never been there. We'll have to go some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We need to go, and we know Tina who owns
Okay.
it, and she had told us that she would do whatever she could to help promote us. So we said, well, we're going to do whatever we can to promote you.
That's cool.
And
but of course, I was focused on the lottery, because it's like 400.
30 million. Hey, lots of I love it. Well, you won the lottery in some ways, though. Are you kidding me? To have an app, because tons of people are doing the apps now. And tons of people doing the go. What? Tell the name of your app.
Spirit Story Box.
Spirit Story Box.
which is
Get
an
the
homage
app.
to the original, like there's a Frank's box, which
Right,
we mentioned that.
right.
And
I like the
Spirit
name.
Box.
Yep.
And kind of a nod to Edison and,
Uh-huh.
we talk about it, the visualization
Interesting.
it uses is like this swarm of energy and we try to, that's kind of like spirit energy, that's a little piece of all of us.
Yeah.
There.
That's because, right, and that's why it's doing well, because it's a different level. We've talked this about a lot, but what we want to do with that level of ghost chasing. It's about healing, it's about understanding, it's about higher consciousness. And yep, that's, but it's doing very well, right?
We hope.
It will.
Tomorrow.
No, I think it's going to keep going. I think you're going to be surprised. I think you're going to it'll keep gaining a momentum for you.
It'd be nice.
Yeah, it will. And I think your mother is helping you. I think that's I think that for that to manifest on the same day isn't a sad thing. It's like a good thing. That's kind of like hitting the lottery, you know. And they do watch over us and they help. And I think you'll get my strong sense is that you're going to get a very, very powerful thing happen in the waking and dreaming state. Now, wouldn't that be wild if she spoke to you through your ghost tap?
Oh, wow.
Whoa! Then they would be going,
You know, I've
"Don't
never-
scare me."
I've never tried to contact my mother.
Well, she's always, I have felt her.
Have you?
Oh yeah, she's around you. See, that's what I love about, because we're all like that. We have this illusion that they're somewhere far away. Heaven and earth are not separate, really, like people think. It's all just dimensional and frequency. And so the illusion, maybe you consciously haven't tried to contact her because she's kind of laughing. But it's like she's just attached with you. She's very much attached with you.
Well, that's interesting because the way they named the article in Indy Star is a long distance connection.
A
That's what
long
they were
distance
saying.
connection.
It's like, oh, well, their app is a phone, so it's making this long distance connection.
Yeah.
That connection's not that far at all.
That's right. Give me Jesus on the line. Remember that song in the 70s? Operator. Yeah. And, in dreams, many times people will, when they're talking to their loved one, they'll be on a phone. It's a common thing the lower mind will show you as being on a phone. Yeah, so and so we're in this new technological age, so that's what's cool about that. That's really, now I do, and I don't think she'll be trying to scare you, but I'm telling you, I can feel her really, really strong with you. And I think that you'll have, how old would you have been today?
Oh, so she's born in 1942.
Oh wow, my mother was born in 22.
Oh,
Your mother was born in 42. I'm born in 48. Oh my God. Oh. Your mother must have been really young when she had you.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Oh. Well, right. Okay.
See, and it's a 7th day, and I was born on the 7th, she was born on the 7th.
Yeah.
Sevens are really big, so it doesn't surprise me that it's a 7th day, but
That it happened.
yeah.
So she was like 64 when she passed. That's how old I am. I'll be 65. This is the way my synchronistic things happen to me all the time. I'm like, great, yeah. One of my favorite ones, the last few weeks, I've had like these kids in their 20s, and they'll be talking about something, oh, they're really old. And I go, well, how old are they? Oh, they're like, 64, 65.
Oh my gosh.
And they have no idea that I'm that age. But it's funny. It's just, ages are really interesting. interesting perception of, trust me on this one, the older you get, it's all relative, and things don't look like they're so old.
Yeah.
You
It's
don't.
like every decade, oh, thanks, I don't feel my age. But that's,
You're 5,
that's
right?
very, yeah, I'm 5 really.
Let me make it, because it's mostly women in the room. His mother passed of colon cancer, which their main cause of death, and his stepmother is undergoing surgery right as we speak for, she had a colon resection and it let loose, and now she's in there.
You can't make
But-
that up.
But
I'm telling you, that is the way it is right now.
But I
Wow.
also see that as women, sometimes men can suck certain energies out of us, like, breast or
Yeah.
abdomen. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
that's kind of
absolutely.
what
There's
I
a lot, or
see.
people retain, there's a,
tension.
it's that holding on to stress and not letting things out. That's why there's a lot of that colon. But that is amazing that
Yeah.
today,
Yeah, right now.
on your stepmother
Oh,
is
yeah.
having
Yeah, we were in the
this,
hospital after this.
Oh,
We got a
my
call on the way here,
God.
and she was going in at 7:30
For a resection.
to patch up after her resection.
Wow.
So.
all of a sudden a lot of healing. And I see this a lot. I've had a lot of karma. That's making, there's a lot of this right now that you can't make it up. It's just the way it is. How old is she?
She's 56 now.
Ooh, she's in her Saturn return. She's in her second Saturn return. Yeah, so she's in some.
She's only.
Wow.
She's older than me.
Wow.
She's like 58.
Okay. Yeah, and that's the thing. So again, what you want to do with that, because I'm sure it's reminding you of your own things you went through with your mother, and here's your stepmother. You don't run from it. Really let it move you and let it open those doors to connection about why, because it is that way. Here it is, in a way, the great day, because you've had, but then here's all these other things, and just really open to understand it.
I feel like his dad is not a really good person, and I feel like he is literally draining
It can
a lot of
happen.
life force out of two women.
It can
That's-
happen,
that's
and it can
what I
happen. And it is sad. I mean, when you see people get drained, and you see people, it is when I see it a lot with relationships, and somebody will get the same disease or illness, and there's that kind of psychic vampirism. And again, it's a lesson for him to be able to kind of look at in his face. Oh my God, why would this be happening to two people? Yeah. And so there's a lot of that right now, this reflection of things. Yeah. Wow. Are you okay?
Me?
No,
Me?
this lady right here.
Me?
Because you said, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually much better.
You look
And
really healed.
I'm hoping I got out of that before it did any physical damage.
No, you look really good. You look like you let go.
Well, I've been writing, but not sending any of it.
Right. That's
In the
okay.
middle of the night, I sent it, and I didn't realize that I sent it.
Don't you love when it does that? Oh
It was
my.
like Sunday night, and I got up Monday morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, and what I actually sent was like really, like I got everything out, but, and the.
Apparently Spirit thought somebody should see what you wrote.
Everything's really inappropriate, but like, I'm like unburdened.
Good.
And.
That's very good for you. Yeah.
Yesterday, I had a small sliver of empathy for him.
Love this.
And then today, it's just been like hysterical, and it's not been that I
No, we should
feel
have-
better than
No, you
than
shouldn't have
them
empathy. That's fine.
or him or that family, or I don't feel better than them. I just feel, oh my gosh,
Well, you
there's
release.
lots of humor in it.
But and then you do have to have a sense of humor. You
Oh
have
my
to go
gosh.
through the whole gamut because it's the way it is. Yeah. Yep. Some big stuff going on. So you escaped the family thing? Or you
No, it was just
Done
we were
early.
done, yeah.
Oh, good.
We had funeral mass for my
Oh God.
I work for my father-in-law. One of his business partners passed away very suddenly, 65.
Wow. He was 65. Of
Yeah.
course he was.
Of course he was. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was.
The whole death thing is really big.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
funeral mass today, and
Wow.
he was like my father-in-law's brother, and they were very
Wow.
close. They worked together for 40 years.
Their own business, yeah.
So,
And her husband, and she worked in the bit. Wow, that's.
so that was hard. And then we had family dinner. It
There's
was
so much transition right now. I just never. It's just that gate is wide open. Did he get sick at work? I get sick at work, and then aortic aneurysm. Oh, God love him. But you know,
his last sentiment before they sedated him was, "Don't worry, it's in God's hands." He was comforting people as he was.
Yes, because he knew he was at peace. Yeah, he was at peace. I think he started to leave his body already at work. Yeah, I think that he started to make transition.
They had an 8-hour surgery, but it's just
8-hour surgery.
4 to 6 hours. It ended up being 8 hours. He survived that. Had another surgery in the morning. Survived that, and then in the afternoon. It was Thursday afternoon. His kidneys started to fail, so they had dialysis, and then by midnight, they knew he was not going to.
And as you know, he's speaking to me right now. This is really interesting. He's like LinkedIn, so I'm looking up here because I feel him like right here.
He's very goofy.
He's very goofy, and he's like, he thinks my house is really funny. He's like making fun of my house. Stuff. Okay. Interesting. Wow. He said that was for everybody else. As far as he was concerned, it was fine to just go. And he was not suffering when he went through the operations. He was not suffering when any of the physical things that were going on. Yeah, that was for other people. So they could adjust to him being gone. They couldn't accept that he would just leave his body.
His wife has a huge family, and none of them have gone through like surgeries or
Right.
unexpected deaths or anything. So
Yeah, he brought a lesson of bringing the people together while he was going through the 8-hour surgery and the other surgery and the process, because he was already with God. He was already in spirit. And that's what he showed me. He didn't suffer. And I feel like when he said it's in God's hands, he was already in God's hands. He was at peace because he had, my feeling is from something he's showing me is that in February and in April, he already had things happening. But he wasn't telling people. It's like he knew. It's like birth is a process, death is a process. So many times people they know, and they already, and that's what I sense with him. He has a child he's like really worried about. And if it's a stepchild or if it's a child.
he has 2 children. His son is the sole survivor of triplets, and his daughter just had a grandbaby. Had his first grandbaby.
It was a sole survivor of triplets. So the
Very
other
early.
two.
They were born very early, and so
Wow.
more surgeries.
Wow. That's why he's concerned. Because it's that same aorta, the same weakness, genetic weakness. Okay, I get it. Is there anybody that's 32 or that's in their 30s?
His son or not, his daughter both might be in their 30s.
And you said there's a baby that was born?
His daughter just had his first grandbaby
Just when, like in,
months ago.
okay.
She's newborn.
That's why he hung on, okay. I'm getting so much information this ain't funny. Yeah. No, whatever that all was about are pieces of puzzles that are the family. They're not going to be sad soon. He was really not feeling well for a while, and he's kind of been, his lessons were finished a while back. And so even though it looked so sudden and so severe, he was already in that path. Yeah. No, he's very communicative. It's like he's yeah, I'll tell you more about it. It's interesting. Wow.
Doesn't surprise me that he's so communicative. He's never met a stranger.
Yeah, he's so friendly. Yeah. Yeah. Very friendly, very like, hey,
How's he?
Yep.
How's he? Okay.
Yep. I love that. That's really cool. That's really neat. Wow. There are many, many loved ones here tonight. Lots of people, and again, it's that illusion of the separations healed, and so there's just one big energy. So let's do this meditation, and again, all you need to do is open your heart. This is a safe place to heal, a safe place to transmute. I want you to imagine that it's just like what it is right now. We are all immersed in the flames of transmutation, not the flames of hell. Although you have moments where you might feel that that's what it feels like. You're actually being, this beautiful orange flame also has the colors of purple and red. And I want you to focus on the violet flame. I want you to feel this amazing purple flame aspect of what a fiery flame looks like, but it's very purple and lavender and gold. And it's actually, you're not separate from it. It's ignited in your being. And you are a beacon of light. All the worries and stresses and doubts and fears and ways you felt confused or attacked or not understood. All the times, all the energies that are coming up right now for everybody, the archetypical energies and experiences we go through of being alone, of feeling isolated, feeling abandoned, feeling betrayed. I want you to know you are never alone. When you embrace aloneness, it's like an initiation and you know you're never alone. In accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we ask the bodies to align into present time. And I want you to feel how beautiful your soul is, how beautiful your being, the beingness of you, this beautiful light that you are. This radiant, beautiful being of light. I want you to feel and know the more you can let go and let go and let go and let the things that are not of the light, let them burn up. I want you to visualize you are a living, breathing, walking being of light. We are the tree of life. You're a walking tree. Again, your whole crystalline body is of the diamond. We ask the diamond body to shine through. We ask the deep, deep roots that root you deep into the earth. They're on the bottoms of your feet. There's deep, deep energies, that wheels of light on the bottoms of your feet that connect you deep into the earth. I want you to feel how wonderful the earth is, how beautiful the earth is, how safe it is to be a spiritual being of light on the earth at this time. And all the drama and all the dross that you've been burning off, I want you just to feel the heavy energy draining out down into the earth to be transmuted. I want you to feel that violet flame moving up through your body. I want you to feel the top of the head, the crown chakra opening. And this is the color of purple, the violet energy. And as you are in this state of awakened state, know that this is your true being. I want you to feel and know that there is no death, there is only life. Love never dies. I want you to feel the presence of the Divine Mother, Divine Father, the true parents, our true creator energy. Whatever you didn't receive from birth parents, you can always receive from the Divine Mother, Divine Father. You also have that within your being to activate, becoming your own mother, father, brother, sister, lover, savior, whatever archetype. And we feel the presence here of many, many, many ancestors and many family members who want to be felt and acknowledged in roles that they play, but also for people to know them as they were, as people, as individuals, as personalities outside of the roles of mother or father or brother or sister. So as we're sitting in this vibration of wholeness, oneness, within your own being, it's very important to let go of the lower ego identities that you may think of yourself or project to the outer world. I want you to feel who you are as just a being, a person, without the masks, without the negative or positive expectations of roles. I want you to feel free to know who you are. Just as Creator knows every sparrow that falls to the earth, just as Spirit has made every raindrop, every flake of snow is individual. Think of how special and individual your being, your soul is. I want you just to open to receive this amazing love, this amazing unconditional love that's being beamed all around. It's everywhere. You're not separate from it. The illusion of separation is healing. It's very important to feel how big the energy body of the universe is, and to know that you are part of that energy field. You are not separate. It's the paradox. You are a unique being of light, but part of this huge being of light. But you are individual, and you have your own talents and abilities and creative abilities. Again, I want you to feel safe on the earth, feel yourself being grounded, rooted. The root chakra is black in color of the earth. It's in the tailbone, perineum area of the body. It's a living, breathing taproot that has you grounded. Again, you're a walking tree, walking being of light. I want you just to feel that rooted energy pulling you down into the earth. In a safe way, you're going to let go again of poisons, toxins. But you're also going to be able to gather up energy from the earth up through the body. I want you to feel again, it's safe to be a spiritual being on the earth at this time. It's safe to let your light shine. It's safe to let go of suffering. It's safe to let go of the past. It's safe to bring all of who you are into this level. And I want you to imagine the most beautiful color of red, the color of the second chakra, the sexual reproductive area of the body. This area of the body is about co-creation. It's about creating new life within your own being. It's about regeneration, not just about sexuality or birth of children. It has to do with your co-creative energies. In accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we ask for a clearing of that second chakra. We ask for that red blood energy to be purified. Anything that you may be carrying from other people you've been connected with in a sexual way, in an old relationship, or anywhere you're trapped, if there's molestation, abuse, attachment. We ask for cleansing the second chakra, purification. Safe to let go of attachment. It's safe to turn the second chakra into this co-creative energy that's creating new life force in every cell of your body. We ask all pictures of death to be turned into pictures of life, all pictures of fear to be transmuted into pictures of unconditional love and truth. And I want you to feel this creative, co-creative venture with spirit. Let it manifest. Feel this incredible cleansed, oxygenated blood flowing through your veins, clearing out miasms, viruses, weaknesses. We ask for restoration of the immune system. We ask for an alignment of the endocrine system, which is really what the chakras are. It's safe to create. It's safe to co-create with God. It's safe to be a creative, spiritual, sexual being on the earth at this time. It's safe to be a vessel of light. It's safe to create and co-create the highest, highest, highest good possible for yourself, for others. We ask all destructive energy, all things that have been brought into manifested form that are no longer useful of the light. We ask for a cleansing of things that were starting to be created that are not going to come into manifested form. We ask for a total releasing and cleansing of this co-creative center. And I want you to feel this red energy as it's moving through every cell of your body. Move up right under the belly button. That's where the Christ flame, the Buddhic flame is. These first three chakras are your furnace. We want to ignite this furnace. So I want you to know that literally there is a flame right below the navel. I want you to imagine, it's just like if you would turn on a gas stove, and I want you to ignite that third chakra. And I want you to visualize this flame. It's gold, it's red, it's orange, it's purple. It's radiant, it's fiery, it's a cold heat. It's igniting your central sun. It's cooking out the imperfections. It's manifesting, it's getting your furnace going to support your upper chakras. It's this life force in your belly. This attachment that we've had with the umbilical cord with our mother is very powerful. It's not just something that was in utero. This is a very powerful, your own phallus. This is the center of your body, for made in the image of Creator. This is the center here. I want you to feel how safe it is to be in your body. I want you to come down in your being, in this body temple. I want you to feel safe to bring all of this beautiful radiant being of light that you are and integrate fully with the body temple. And to feel this fiery central sun that is this third chakra. And it's like a giant, beautiful furnace, sun energy that is helping you all the time to manifest and create and burn off the dross and to give you life force, to take that beautiful red energy, that blood energy, that creative energy up into this powerful, powerful place. I want you to feel the energy moving up into the breast, up into the chest, up into the heart. I want you to fill the lungs with this energy too, and it's a beautiful green. When you think about the most beautiful emerald green grass you've ever seen, or color of emeralds, I want you just to bring up this beautiful green energy all through the breast, through the back, through the lungs, through the heart, through the chest. This green healing light is healing all the hurt, the wounds of conditional love. And I want you to feel the power of the unconditional love. And it's a color of pink, the most radiant, beautiful pink energy that you can imagine. It has gold and silver and sparkly, beautiful, rosy pink energy, the color of unconditional love, moving through every cell of your body, filling the heart, cleansing out all of the stories that are not your story anymore, cleansing out the times of sadness and betrayal and abandonment. The feelings of being shunned or being not accepted or unrequited love. All the slings and arrows and wounds that conditional love brings. Feel safe to open, to let all that go. It's safe to have compassion for yourself and for others. It's safe to forgive yourself and others. It's safe to connect with your inner soulmate, with your inner beloved. All that you're looking for in the outer world is within you. I want you to feel that place of unconditional love for yourself, for others. The wholeness, that place of amazing, amazing love. Your heart is not something that wants to be controlled or protected or shut down. What kills people is the opening and shutting of the heart chakra. I want you to feel how good it is to experience unconditional love. Unconditional love has nothing to do with what someone else is going to do or say or give you or not give you or feel about you or not feel about you. It's all about how you feel about you. All about the wholeness and the union from within. We ask all the fragmented experiences, all the times that we think we have failed ourselves or failed others, all the shame, guilt, fear, all the things we think we could have done differently, should have done differently. I want you to let that go into the flames and be burned up. Let it go. Let it go. We want to go back to the very root of shame, guilt, fear, and where it started in your being and other places and times. And we want to pull these things out by the root. And in accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we ask the Archangel Michael to sever all negative cords that are binding you, shame, guilt, fear. Let it go. Feel how loved you are by Creator. How beautiful you are, how whole you are, how cleansed you are. This open heart. There is no ending or beginning. I'm Alpha, I'm Omega, I'm the beginning, I am the ending. I am sending, I am receiving, I am praying and meditating all at one time. I want you to feel this love, this unconditional love that has no need to explain itself, it has no need to be anything but unconditional. Unconditional does not mean being a victim. Unconditional, when you're in a true path of compassion and unconditional love. Attachment's gone. Let go of attachment to other people, other times, things that are robbing you of your joy. Feel all the positive memories and experiences that you have and bring them in a cleansed, transmuted way into your being. But all of the other things are gone. The attachment, the sorrow, the sadness. Let go of the limited thinking that you wasted time, or that all the judgmental things we do about relationships and love and hard things. And know that you are now here. And there is no linear time. And there's only this place of unconditional love. And the more you are radiating and being in this place, it is what you will become and what you will attract to yourself. Feel safe enough to let every wounded, broken, I should say illusion of broken pieces of yourself to come into this light. Feel the sacredness of your heart. This is the sacred heart. It's not a suffering heart. It's an open, beautiful, sending and receiving. See yourself as a magnet attracting only your highest good. Attracting your dharma. You're finished with learning through repetition of patterns. Let go of the karmic wheel. Let go of learning through the suffering or the monotonous repetition of repeating. It's no longer how we are supposed to be. Feel how worthy you are, how loved you are, and how needed on this earth to bring this clear, open heart into manifested form. I want you to feel the energy moving up through the throat chakra. This is the beautiful color of sapphire blue. I want you to feel this beautiful electric blue energy moving up through the throat, through the teeth, through the gums, through the ears. It's safe to speak your truth. It's safe to speak the truth. It's safe to hear the truth. It's the power of the spoken word. Very important what you're speaking. Speaking your truth, hearing the truth. And we ask for the gift of discernment to hear and feel and see the truth of what we're feeling and hearing and seeing around us. You should feel the energy moving up through the pineal pituitary gland, the function of the third eye. There's actually 2 points in the forehead that are connected with the inner eye. Except the eye becomes single, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. talking about seeing with the inner eye. It's safe to see with the inner eye. We ask for an opening. We ask this beautiful, again, purple energy of this chakra to fill your body with this light and this guidance. And we ask it again in accordance with each person's free will and highest good for a safe opening of the third eye, for a discernment about what you are seeing, that what you are seeing is true and will bring help to yourself, to others, bring guidance in a balanced way, in a safe way, in a clear way. And again, feel the top of the head, it's wide open. You might even be feeling already hot energy, moving energy. This is the crown chakra. It's your spiritual umbilical cord. Babies are born with a soft spot because that's where the spirit comes and goes, in the silver cord. We are stardust, we are golden. We are from the stars. We are made up of that beautiful star energy. It's a great mystery. We are above the heavens and of the earth. And I want you to feel the safety of the heavenly connection, the stars. The beautiful, beautiful energy of the heavens. The electrical energy of the Divine Father being pulled by the magnetic energy of the Divine Mother. And just feel that energy coming down through your body. We ask dis-ease to come forward to be transmuted. We ask the weaknesses of the body, mind, and spirit. We ask any place you're holding pain, that you're holding dis-ease, that you're holding energy that's bringing suffering. We ask new cells to be created. We ask for cleansing of the physical body. And we pray for those. In accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we send out love and healing to our families. And for people going through the operation tonight for her stepmother, we send out prayers. We send out that this energy she'll use for her highest good. We send out this radiant light to be used only in accordance with each person's free will and highest good. And we send great comfort to people who have lost people, so they'll understand that there is no doubt that love never dies. We ask for the openness to feel and not be afraid, to know that there is no separation, there is no disconnection. The heaven and earth are connected, that our loved ones are always with us. Let your burdens go. Let this energy move and fill all of your space in your home, your work, your families. Let this energy move. We ask for healing and understanding of those things that are a great mystery. We know that there are many things happening to people right now that are very overwhelming and confusing. We ask for peace to come into the heart, mind, body, and spirit. We ask for all things hidden to be revealed. When you're ready, return to the consciousness of this room, this process of healing, remembering, connecting. Feel that magnetic energy of you. Be in your being. Feel that radiant light. And you're a giant magnet attracting all that you need, all that you want, all the things for your highest good to bring happiness, fulfillment, prosperity. And you're repelling away all the things that are no longer of the light or right for you. Let it go. Let it be removed. Let it be transmuted. Ooh, wow. Wow. Mm, 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 mm. The light that is here, the radiant energy that is here, always here. Tonight is really interesting. It's almost like a roto-rooter. It's moving through, it's still processing, it's moving through every cell of your being, and it's cleansing, it's purifying, it's moving, it's creating new energy. Let that energy go into every part of your being. As you start to kind of come up into this a different level of what we've been doing in the meditation, you may feel places in your body where you're feeling tension, or you're feeling pain, or you're feeling blocks. So let that energy keep moving. Let it keep. It's like a roto-rooter, and it's just gobbling up all the old energy, all the toxins. Just let it keep moving. It's not a separate thing. It's not like I'm awake, I'm asleep, I'm meditating, I'm not meditating. We're all very immersed in this light, and it's a place of beingness. It's a place this place of peace and of this unconditional love is a real state of being. And it's a state that you can stay in. It's a place you can operate from. When you're in a group energy, especially when you experience anything, you can recreate it. You can, it's like it's downloaded. It's downloaded in your body. And so it's always there. So the most common fear people have is, well, yeah, that was great, but now what happens when I have to go here or there, go deal with other people, other realities, or, drive with the crazy people, and this is a real thing. And so when you can be in this is not just a accidental or pretend or a one time or something that happens only when you're sitting still and focusing. This is a real transmuted energy that you're in now. So let that energy just keep moving and circulating and activating and clearing out, because it's very active. That's one of the biggest differences tonight from other meditations that we've done. There's just this, it's like the room is just like everything is just one big organism that's just moving and shifting, and this energy is very, very active. It's very alive, it's very active, and you are not separate from it. So those of you who chose to be here tonight, it's a very interesting group of people and very interesting energy that's moving through here. So know that it's not something that you're going to disconnect from. It will keep working, keep going, keep pushing through things. And the state of consciousness that you've attained is something that is real and it's permanent. So allow that to be part of your journey. I would imagine that there'd be some very interesting dreams, very interesting awarenesses, very interesting synchronistic things that will keep manifesting. So anybody have anything you want to share or ask or yes?
I was seeing like shadows in the room, but then there was a woman in front of me, and she didn't say anything. She just kind of kneeled and put her hands on my cheeks, and she didn't say anything, but I just felt the most overwhelming sense of love. It was such a good feeling. I needed that.
It's the Divine Mother. Yeah, the Divine Mother's so here tonight. Oh, yeah. And the Holy Spirit is the great comforter. And to me, she's very feminine in nature. And the great Sophia, the great wisdom, is very much the Divine Mother. That's wonderful. You know what I felt earlier? I feel like there's a baby that wants to come in. I know. Be careful.
No, that's really, we're going to get too much information, but when we were working on that area, I was feeling like, I was feeling like my ovaries were hurting.
Because you're probably ovulating.
That's what
This little
so
baby
funny.
spirit's going.
He's a wild little one.
He's
isn't he?
wild. It's definitely a boy.
Yeah.
Just telling us to come in at the right time. Yeah, but it's definitely, there's that energy there, really strong.
Definitely feel the room, feel it like pulsating.
Exactly.
I still feel it.
Yes.
Still feel my fingers tingling. I kept looking up at Mother. Every now and then I peek.
Yep, and that's actually Mary Magdalene.
Very Magdalene, just
Yep, Mary Magdalene.
feeling
Kuan Yin.
love.
So who is this?
That's Mother Mary.
Okay, so when we were talking about that, I heard a sound of the,
I believe you.
I even looked up and.
Yeah. I totally believe you.
Yeah.
It was a big
A big pop. I felt it. And she's fascinating. She's fabulous. I found her. This is a funny story. A friend of mine was having she's a designer, but she always has these great lawn sales. And I got there right at the end. I was almost late, and somebody was putting that back in their van, and I'm going, no. I want her. So have her in my home. And like a week later, somebody that used to work in the Jumping Beanery restaurant my now ex-husband had back in the 70s and 80s, came in. She goes, "Oh my God, I have that. But I have Joseph, and his hands missing too." So anyway, we did this research, and she's like from 1915. She's the old Mary, the old paint, and they came from Saint Mary, the Joseph and the Mary, but she had the Joseph, is so weird, came from Saint Mary's in Notre Dame. We found out. And I got her in a lawn sale for like $100. It's like, so probably had her since the 90s. And when I brought her into the house, and this still will happen, the cats used to be over here. They would climb on her. They would lay by her. They would talk to her. I could get a dozen roses and I could divide them up and put them all around the house, and any ones I put by her would last for a week longer than the other roses. And it's because of the veneration. It's because their prayers went into, she was a thing of focus so I never understand when the churches get rid of these things. There's up on 96th Street, this place called Colonial Antiques, and they have a lot of architectural stuff. You can go there, and there's whole churches in there, confessional booths. Even down Whitewater, the Salvage by where you guys are, same thing. You can, whole guts of these old churches, and it's just amazing. And they have energy to them that's just amazing. But yeah, I'm not surprised because she really radiates. There's a lot of energy that I'm so happy that, yeah, that's neat. I heard something too, and it was like, yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's some really, and that pulsating, it's exactly what, it's still here. It's just like something was brought to life or activated in another level with this, because 30 years ago in July is when I first bought this place. 30 years. 30 years. A long time.
I had an unusual, just physical sensation many, many times that I was physically pinned down. But it was a good thing. I know I could move if I wanted to, but I just felt like I was
held in place or aligned.
Moving up so fast that I was just like thrown back.
Yeah. There were a lot of sensations.
And I felt like this pressure in my inner eye.
Yeah, it's that.
But it was definitely a physical sensation.
Yes, there was a lot of physical.
It happened again and again and again. It's just like, whoa, okay, here we go.
Yeah, no, it was very physical. That's what struck me. I kept feeling so much physical realm of the transmutation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I thought I was sore, and then I was sore again, and then I was sore again.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's really exciting stuff. It's like, and then I felt your stepmother and your mother here. That's why I did that little prayer. I felt that energy. I felt that. I just felt lots of help here. It's like there's just so much love. Yeah, it was very, very healing. Because this is a place of healing, and it's a place of, and I had big realizations, I do now, that, and this is what's really cool, is that the energy of this place is being brought back to life, and the cleansing out of so much, and so many people, thousands and thousands of people have come through here in the last 30 years. We used to have flotation tanks, egg-shaped flotation tanks for 10 years, 11 years. We've had all kinds of things that have happened here. My mother lived here, and then when I got divorced, I moved in here. But it was always a place I'd worked for the last 3 years. So it's very powerful. There's a lot here. And I just consciously realized that it doesn't matter if I get this refinance thing or not, because it was starting to really make me angry. Not at the house, but at I'm seeing everything as like a burden and like a heavy thing, and it doesn't feel that way now. It feels like it's just gone. And one of the most intense things that happened, and I got a huge verification today from someone, it really wasn't even also about the refinancing. I attracted a very evil person that calls himself an appraiser, and I got a very strong verification today that this person is somebody that banks do not use, that he is very dark. I can't say more, but so that was very validating. And one of the most interesting things that this person did in his appraisal had nothing to do with the refi, it had a lot of other things, but anyway, was his belittling of this place, the cottage. He kept calling this the cottage, and saying that he said that was a bedroom. Oh, it was crazy. You cannot believe. And it just goes on and on. And it had gotten to be to the point where I was really like, and there was an article written in 1928 about this place. This place was actually built as a wedding present by the bride's parents for the bride and groom. And it's a very well-known family back then, connected with racing, the newbies, and it has and this article was written in 1928, talks about how they went to Spain and they saw this place and they brought back everything. They described each room, what was in it, and how they built this as a replica of something in Spain. I mean, and this guy's whole thing was about diminishing. It was very dark energy, trust me, very dark. And so this was like really transformative tonight too. It's like I feel like the house is alive again. It's free from a lot of old personas and things, and it's just back. It's not about what that person tried to purposely do. That's gone, and that will be dealt with. But it had put me into such a state that I can't even describe. But it brought up everything that I've ever been through in my life of people who were mean or persecuting or trying to belittle or not acknowledge what things were. And so I got it. I mean, I kept getting the different lessons of it through it, and I thought, well, that's interesting. But tonight in this, I feel the wholeness. This is built right on the earth. There's no basement, and so it has this amazing energy that comes up through. It's a huge, Williams Creek actually runs through this property. There's an acre and a half here. It runs through the property, and I felt the Williams Creek energy like arcing, circulating through the house, and just all the love and all the heavy energy and different cycles of my life that have gone on in here just get cleansed out. So and I think that's why it's so alive and pulsating. It's like there's a true activation, and no matter what happens, would I like to be paying $1,800 less a month on my house payment if I get this refi? Of course. And if it doesn't happen, the money, something will happen another way. Maybe I'll have a miracle. My house will just get paid off. Who knows? I'm tired of thinking about this or that, and I'm not going to limit what it's supposed to be about, because you can't. Yeah, you can't. So 7 months is a long time, but I feel
More for a baby.
that's
More-
right. It's like a gestation cycle, so you never know. That's exactly right. There's something about it that's happening. So that's what I figured with it. I'm like, well, okay, this is good. So it's been a wonderful energy, and I will, as always, will be back here next Wednesday. And thank you all for coming. And it's a wonderful night. Oh, okay. Ooh. What do we do? Close that. Why is that open? It always says I need to do something.